So, my name is Morgan Kirby. My heart aches for the current generation of young men that don't know what to do, whether they're lost, struggling with addictions, whatever it may be. I think I'm going to make this YouTube channel and make these videos to try to help and try to guide some young men to better themselves, no matter what life throws at them and no matter their current situation. Everybody's dealt certain cards, and you can't choose what cards you get dealt, but you can choose how you deal with them. And you can either sink or swim. There's a lot of sayings and stuff that really resonate with me, like sink or swim, that I believe are a saying for a reason, because they're true. And you'll see me bring those up in this conversation, this one-sided conversation, probably frequently. I've been thinking about writing a book about these sayings as well. I guess it just really saddens me to see the youth, my generation. I'm 24, and I see a lot of people I grew up with struggling, it seems, whether that be in person with some close friends or something, that I see going through some nasty breakups or family problems, or whether it's friends, people, acquaintances, or people I know through work or through school that just seem to, post depressing things on Facebook or Twitter or any of the social medias, or even friends that just say things out loud to you that you realize are probably, from somewhere deep inside them, whether it's a suicide joke or something, or I don't know, anything of the sorts. I see those people, and I see them every day, or I see a post every day that clearly shows they're lost, and I want to be some form of help for those of you that feel that way. I myself, I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be. I struggle with, the same shit. We all do. You're not alone. So know that. Know that there's good people out there in this messed up world, and that you shouldn't hold resentment in your heart, and you should rather forgive people for what they've done, whether it's to you or a loved one or just their actions day to day. and I say this is for young men because that's what I am, and that's what I feel like I can help with, and that's what I feel people will listen to. But I see it with young women as well. Maybe I'll touch on that topic another time. So, where to start? I guess I'll kind of tell somewhat of my story. Brief story of what my life is, rather. I grew up in Massachusetts. I hate Massachusetts. Too many rules, too many regulations, too many people out there for the money, and I guess that's a lot of New England. It's just go, go, go. So that's built into me, but it definitely harvests some negativity compared to maybe some other states or other areas of the world. Grew up in Massachusetts, went to a pretty decent high school. You know, my past isn't terrible, but I've seen people close to me that they've struggled with, you know, whether it's addictions, family issues, suicide, drug abuse, you name it. You know, people everywhere struggle with those things, myself included. Growing up, I had a pretty good upbringing. I can't thank my parents enough for how they raised me. I don't know if I can ever do it as good as they did. Um, but you know, their upbringings weren't the best situations. You know, could always be worse, but I think that's what led them to really strive to make it work and to come together as a married couple and raise two good, hardworking, successful young men. Me and my brother, who is the one who told me to do this. I was kind of thinking of it, but when somebody kind of tells you should, you know, I kind of take that as a sign, especially when it's something I already kind of wanted to do. I take that as a sign. The world's kind of speaking to me to do that thing, whatever it is. You know, had some of the regular issues throughout high school. Girls, friends around you, all partying and stuff. I kind of did that rather young compared to some people around me. Maybe 15 years old, I was probably started partying and stuff. But soon realized it wasn't for me. Um, and that it wouldn't go down anywhere positive. At least the type of parties I was going to. There's, you know, no shame on having a good time, but parties, you know, people are intoxicated because they can't deal with reality and they can't deal with everything that's going on. And growing up through teen years, it's somewhat normal, I would consider. You just got to kind of keep yourself in check, that you're not getting out of hand. Then in high school, my parents owned a family business. Actually, middle school, started working. The bus would drop me off, the family business. And I've been turning wrenches all my life. Ever since I was a kid, I would disassemble, you know, whether it be Legos or Matchbox cars, whatever it would be, I'd take it apart and I'd put it back together. That's kind of my gift that I'm thankful for. And it's important to be thankful for what you got, that's for sure. The family business is a blessing and a curse, like most people with family businesses would probably agree to. Um, so um, it's a bit chaotic, it's a bit crazy, super high stress sometimes, especially during the COVID pandemic years. We were selling 5 times what we normally sell, and everybody wanted their product now. And it takes weeks to assemble and prep. So customers calling nonstop, and everybody being impatient. You should definitely be patient if you struggle with that. I do sometimes. Try to keep myself in check there. But anyway, other than my 8-year relationship with my beautiful girlfriend, that's pretty much my life. I guess something else big. I built my own sports car when I was 15. I was fortunate enough to have a garage to work in, and that taught me a lot. Just kind of taught myself with YouTube, and just learning the hard way, which I believe there's no better way to learn than the hard way, but sometimes it costs you, whether that's money or scars or hurting your ego, whatever it is. The hard way is almost all the way. Throughout life, if you have a choice, pick the easy thing or pick the hard thing. I would say most of the time, 90% of the time, the hard way is the right choice. That will build you up, and that will compound. You know, that'll compound and start making your life better rather rapidly. Once you kind of get on your feet, you get on your feet and you start moving. That's a lot. That's the biggest battle. Once you're moving, it's not so bad, and you can see your life improving around you when you do that, rather quickly, within a day or a week. If you can be patient with yourself and with your body and with everybody around you, then you'll be able to see those results rather quickly. Whatever it is that you're trying to improve, I say go for it. What's stopping you? And for a lot of people, they come up with their own excuses. There's almost, it's that old image of the devil and the angel on your shoulders. That is very real, and you shouldn't listen to the devil, and obviously we all know that. We, in our hearts, know what's right, what's righteous, versus what is not that. But there's a little bit of leeway. We are human. We do have our own desires, and we do have to scratch the itches once in a while. Freaking cold. Middle of winter. Went snowboarding a couple days ago. And now I'm riding my bike. So that's awesome. Whew. So I guess this was just somewhat of a starter video, but stay tuned if you want to hear more life advice. I mean, I think a lot of it's straightforward. We all know this. Like I said, we all know these things in our hearts on what's right, what's wrong, and we need to just focus on what's right and not let the modern world and modern society distract us. Whether that's social media or drugs. Here in Massachusetts, marijuana is legal. However, I think it's completely safe. I also somewhat firmly believe that it is some form of medicine. If you're on any medicine, this is my personal belief. I don't have a lot of experience with it, but I do have friends that do, and relatives that do. Say like antidepressants, they do help people, but I kind of believe they're just a stepping stone. They can help you get you up on your feet and get the ball rolling, and like I said, that's one of the most important parts. But I would personally advise that you stay sober-minded most of your time awake, and that includes any prescription pills that you are on or any medications that you might be on. They kind of mess with your head and confuse you, and I would personally recommend marijuana over any of those pharmaceutical moneymakers, simply because we know what's in it. I can't advise for any of the dispensary stuff. I think it's personally, I think it's far high of a percentage, and it kind of makes people go crazy. I've seen that happen. Some psychosis induced from smoking marijuana. But for a lot of people it does help. I think a lower dose is probably best, enough to take the edge off and get you on your feet. Alcohol, stay away from alcohol. I drink. Like I say, I'm not anybody special, but I do try to reduce the days that I drink. I don't allow myself to drink Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, just because I started to see some form of habit forming. And personally, when I set this goal for myself to just before anything gets bad, and it wasn't, it's not bad just having a drink or two a day, but any alcohol realistically is not good for you, and it causes all sorts of issues, whether it be inflammation or cancer over the years, or diabetes, who knows, whatever it may be, it's not good for you. But anyway, when I decided to not drink just for a couple days, like, it was easy. It was easy. Like, oh, I'm just not gonna do this. When I decided that, after a week of doing it, I was proud of myself, and I felt good. Just from listening to myself, listening to the angel, rather than the devil that maybe says I had a long day and need to crack open a brew. I'm pretty strict with myself on that one, as of right now, and it feels good. It's a small little attainable goal, and it feels good. Maybe not in the moment. Maybe I want that drink. Me and my girlfriend go out to Mexican restaurant, I want that margarita. I love me a margarita. But I just listen to myself, and the next day, I'm proud of myself for listening to that positive voice rather than um, scratching the itch of having the margarita. And you can implement that in your own life, and you'll see a positive change. Like I say, rather quickly in your mental state, whether it be, for example, like my own drinking thing. You could do something like that if you think you might benefit from it. Um, you could not bring your phone with you certain places. Get off your phone, get away from these screens, get outside, get some fresh air, get out of the city, come to a hill like me and just sit and soak it up, soak up this beautiful place that we all live. You can, oftentimes, if you do that, what I notice is you almost, it's like Morgan Wallen's song, one thing at a time. Um, you can oftentimes, if you focus on one thing, one goal, even if it's a small one, like my goal there, oftentimes if you replace, say, that drink or that meal or whatever it is with doing something else or trying something else, that's less of a problem subject. If you do that, your odds of succeeding in your little small goal is definitely increasing. Increasing the odds of succeeding on that. So if you get home from work and you want to drink, I know a lot of people, they like to go for runs. Going to the gym helps a lot of people. Not everybody is fortunate enough to be able to maybe get a bike, or maybe they don't live in an area that a lot of nature is present. So maybe go to the gym instead of having that beer. I know that helped my brother with his recent breakup, somewhat recent, a year ago. I tried to push him. He was kind of in some form of a downward spiral, in my opinion, and he's my brother. Obviously, I want to help him, so I kind of nudged him to go to the gym, start get his mind off of the negative thoughts, and start doing something positive for him. And he's grateful for that. So replace your bad thing with a good thing, and you'll feel good. Set a small goal or a big goal if you can handle it. But oftentimes, if you're down and you set a big goal, that's actually, in my opinion, that little demon on your shoulder giving you that big goal so you don't attain it, and so you get worse in your problem. You relapse in your problems, per se. What else? What else can I touch on just to kind of give a quick intro video here? What else? What else? If you set a goal, the odds of you achieving it are a heck of a lot more than if you push it off. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. A lot of people procrastinate. If you say you'll do it tomorrow, almost all the times that bites me in the ass. I only push off those things that can actually wait. Anything that's rather important, I don't push off ever. I do them. I get them done, and then I feel good about it. So set an actually attainable goal. Set a time frame by when you need to do that, and just do it. Just get it done. I promise you will feel better about yourself and your potential issue. Other big things I'd like to touch on would be some relationship guidance. Um, I'm not married. I'm still a little young, but friends all around me are getting married. However, I've always treated my relationship with my girlfriend like she's my wife, and we've been together for 8 years. And I recently had some form of realization on how important that is to me, and the memories we've had, um, and the experiences we've had together are worth a lot more than me trying to find somebody else or replace her with not it doesn't even have to be another woman. It could be replace her with ignoring her, replace her with doing other things, other activities, instead of spending quality time with her, playing video games or working on things or doing getting intoxicated of some sort. And like I said, I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect, but each day I try to be a little better. And this past year, I've really kind of kicked it up a notch. Um, really, because I'd like to be a good example for other young men to follow. Um, and it's probably hard to be a good example if you don't look so good yourself. So I started bettering myself. Um, Started setting those goals and started achieving them and started bettering my life. Like I said, I'm rather fortunate for a lot of things in my life, and I don't take them for granted. I'm blessed. We all are. We got to look at the positive side. We got to see the light in the darkness. And for generations to come, I'd like to be some form of guide. I'd like to be some form of person that shows people the light and shows people that it is possible and that they're not alone and that they can forgive themselves for whatever it is that they struggle with or battle with inside their own head. All of us have demons that we deal with day to day, and I'd like to be some form of light to that. So I'd appreciate it if you guys stayed tuned in and listened and helped me guide you if you need it, as I guide myself on a self-betterment journey. And there will be bumps in the road. There will be hard times. there will be setbacks, but something else there will be that I know is there will be success because I'm determined. Yeah, I guess that's it for the first video.